go through, ask you a few questions, and then that's pretty much it. Sounds
Awesome,
good?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. So first of all, what obstacle would have prevented you from buying the six-figure agency accelerator product?
Primarily income, and then the second part wasn't so much the income, but the hesitation around previous courses that I bought hadn't been as beneficial for the amount of money I'd paid.
Got it. So basically just the ability to pay with your income, and then secondly, hesitations around courses in general.
Yeah, well, I'd invested a little bit. Well, maybe about two in another course, and it was just terrific.
We won't name any names.
Yeah, but yeah, it was frustrating to do that up front and then get sort of a very limited result.
Got it. And so why did you end up purchasing the program?
Two reasons. Yourself and John. So John's obviously the partner of K&J Growth. At the point in time, he was more than happy to share the content with me if I wanted, and I wasn't particularly keen. And he said, maybe we both should have chat with Matt. And in terms of putting us both in touch with each other, we moved into saying that, okay, cool, let's figure out, make sure we're both doing the exact same thing, and which is why I got in contact with you. Had the sales call with you and Ian, and knowing and seeing a lot of your content in the transition, I think, was a huge part for me. From obviously, like I said, and what I've seen, like you were struggling, things you were sort of like dying out in the cold, and then obviously that huge transition for you making enough income and around that sort of stuff. And then obviously John saying, look, this is like a literally world-changing class of what we need to do with our own agency. So the combination of the two was more than enough because I trust you both. So it was a relatively, not an easy investment, but definitely a smart one in my head.
Awesome. Awesome. And so what kind of results have you achieved by buying this product? And that could be, specific metrics, or it could also be soft skills around, confidence or that sort of stuff.
Yeah, there's a number of things. And this is the part probably I was looking forward to the most in terms of sharing this with you. So I think within just under, I had to look back just before we jumped on this call, within 54 days, I'd been going from, I had not a bad month previously, I had 7, 8, okay? And then in that 54 days later, I was making 19.7K. And so that was a USD. Yeah. So it was a pretty huge transition, monetary figure wise. The second part was, and this is what I think has actually even been more valuable than the money itself, was the idea around systemizing my time and removing myself from the business and the time that I've been investing. There was a lot of hesitation on my end to remove myself because I wasn't entrusting or empowering other people. And so the big part too is that was a massive time suck on my behalf. Because some of the other consistent ongoing projects that I still had maybe 3 months with contract wise, which were requiring still a lot of hourly rates and hourly time. And so when I moved into this course, I was still spending a lot of time on other projects outside of it. The big part, what I learned, was the removal of myself from that, and allowing that to be able to push. So I could focus and finish off the other projects, even though they were quite time consuming. I could still dedicate myself to them and as accurately as I could, and remove myself from the other external parts of the new sales and those types of things. And I think thirdly and finally, probably the last one, I don't really have a problem or issue with mindset previously, but looking at the transition for the way that sales are offered to people, I think it's a value exchange, and that's been something that has been hugely beneficial for what I've been able to do in terms of the way I communicate what we do and how we actually approach.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's something that came up. I just spoke with Matt Herndon about that too. He said it kind of went from um, you know, like a sales conversation, which is kind of like, you know, like a business conversation, to more of just a, you know, a friendly conversation where you are able to just have fun with it, and not only have fun, but, you know, get paid, which is pretty cool to hear.
Yep, absolutely. So I think, yeah, it makes sense in terms of the value exchange for what you're doing, and then that's a really huge part of it. And that's a massive thing for what we've been able to achieve. So yeah,
Awesome.
but there's a whole ton of stuff too. Some really small, like even the micro skills and the things that you guys have taught, the small, even words that you use, and then obviously the little execution for obviously how to hire, how to outsource, everything. There's like, if you'd be struggling to not, like, it's hard to fail with the program.
Awesome. Yeah, Matt also said, like, take the program, implement everything, and you'll see results. And if you don't, you're an idiot. That's what he said, something along those lines.
You'd be fucking retarded, but I mean, that's not the quote you probably want to use. But right. You'd be really struggling, because like there's just, if you weren't dedicated to it and you didn't go through and do the work in it, you'd be up struggle street. It's just probably, again, it would be someone's mindset who didn't pay attention to literally the first module.
Awesome. Perfect. And so what specific feature did you like most about the product?
It would be biased, but now the more time I'm spending on it, probably the fifth module. And that would be because obviously the removal of yourself. I'm happy to take less and less margin on all the things that I do if I can reduce the time that I'm putting into it. And so that was a huge shift for me, because while I was making around about, you know, 8K USD, which wasn't bad per month, and that's still a cool 6-figure life, I was exchanging a shitload of time for that. And so the fifth module, and now as I'm working through it, has allowed me to sort of, as I'm going through now, see like, oh fuck, I spend a shitload of time doing really dumb stuff that's like super low value.
Right.
And so being able to obviously systematize that, that's really, like, I think that's something that no one else has done. I find it very unique in the way that it's looked at, and I've never seen anyone sort of as be stringent as what you guys are for actually cutting and calculating and allocating time in that respect.
Beautiful. So systems and scaling module around replacing yourself, systemizing, etc.
Because everyone can sell, everyone can probably have the mindset to fail and try again, but I think what most people do is they get into that mindset of that I just need to keep selling and selling, as opposed to the idea of, no, get the fuck out. You need to actually remove yourself and then scale from there. And I think that that's a really empowering way, and that you've delivered it because it's very actionable. Whereas most stuff is like, hey, try this. This is like, here's a prescription, go do it. If you don't, then you're retarded.
Beautiful. Perfect. And I know you've touched on this briefly already, but if you could just list out like the top 3 benefits of the program, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first and foremost benefit, and for what I would say for maybe 90% of people that I speak with or talk with, would be changing mindset. The benefit there, and this wasn't a huge thing, but still allowed me to re-clarify and redefine my purpose for what I want to do as a business and as a business owner, and working around and with other people, was to funnel and change my mindset and create value for other people, and see that what I'm selling and what I'm servicing and what I'm doing for other people is actually extremely valuable. The second benefit would be an incredibly prescriptive experience. There's very few things in my life that I've found have as much detail as what you have given within Success AA. I find that when you're looking at that there, and the way to execute is that there's nothing out there that can give you that level of detail for getting to the next step, how you'd achieve that, what that looks like, and the process to do it. Because most courses, there's a lot of gap between, okay, cool, this is an amazing concept, to implementation and physically putting that into your own life.
Right.
And so that leads me to the third and final, was obviously looking and being able to say, okay, cool. I now have a community of people who are doing the exact same things as me, and what that actually looks like, how we're doing it, and how we're achieving it. And then you're able to refine and test that in lifetime with other people. So those top 3 benefits they're very high level, but they're all incredibly powerful for what other people should look for, I think, because most online courses won't deliver that.
Awesome. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you very much. I'll send you the PayPal for all those nice words after the call. Just kidding. There's no money here. Just honesty. All good.
That's good, bro.
Perfect. And so, last question: would you recommend this program? And if so, why?
Yeah, I think I already have once. I've already recommended some other people and told people about it. I would say that for most people, and what we see out on social media, is that a lot of people, and this is something I touched on just even recently, is that you'll get a lot of highlight reels, but most people will see everything they think they're doing well, but they'll be struggling, right? And for me, this level of detail with 6FFA gives you the ability to know that you can confidently scale, grow, and remove yourself from a business. And so most people, when they're struggling or starting out, don't know where to go, and the information is so abundant out there that there's amazing resources, and people may be able to get to this level without it, but there's very, very, if anything in the world at the moment, that is so prescriptive enough to take someone in such a small time frame from A to Z. And I think that is the biggest part for what I would do in my recommendation.
Boom. Perfect. Thank you so much for that. And is there anything else you want to add? Any final thoughts? Could be about whatever.
Not particularly. I think it's just been probably one that's just the level for you too. I've wanted to say this obviously since I've been taking the course. It's just thank you. I think it's been really amazing to see your change, and then obviously wanting to be able to deliver that and give that back to other people. And then obviously the way that you've empowered like myself, John, other people, Mahern, and all the people who are my friends as well. So I've been really impressed with that, bro. And I think it's pretty incredible journey. And I'm excited that we're still going on the same thing.
Oh yes, definitely. just getting started. And that's, I mean, it's crazy, right? Because, like even a few months ago, we were so far from where we are now, but it's just like a whole new world of opportunity has opened up, and super exciting. So glad you were able to join us on this, and I can't wait to see your continued progress and all that good stuff.
Absolutely, my son.
Perfect. Well, and for anybody who ends up watching this, whether it is potential customers, whether it's people in the different hunger community, whether it's creepers on the internet, you never know. Where can we follow along with you and keep up with your work and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so for me, I mean, you can find me at www.kjgrowth.com. Add me on social. I'm pretty abundant there. And then you can type my name into Google, and there's a whole ton of stuff about me at the moment, which is quite cool. I'm the only Kale Panoho in the world, so that's a nice thing.
Ah, there we go. There we go. Cool. All right, man. Well, thank you so much. And I will talk with you soon.
Cheers, bro.
All right.